Man, those neighbors sure make a lot of noise. Yeah. That's old Isaac, baby. What?
What?
Nothing.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Making a video? Is
it
running?
It's running, baby. It's running.
Come on up in here, this big swinging. You know the vibes.
Lay it on the table, baby. Lay it on the table. That's Isaac.
That's Isaac.
All you ladies. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Connor. We're back with another video. We are taking a little bit of a break from the bike. We got some parts coming. We took off the brake line. We still need to remove the upper half of the clutch, but we're gonna wait till we have to actually do that. That way it's just not sitting with the open bottom end clutch. We went ahead and picked up the clutch cable today. We have disassembled the wheels, tire from the wheel. We have more parts that have come in. This is a little area that you can see. It just keeps on stacking up. Now we're just waiting to get these fork lowers off. Unfortunately, in good old Amazon fashion, whenever you really need something, for some reason, especially with this bike, it always seems to get a delay in transit and then it's held off for several days later. But we are going to be removing the fork lowers. That way we can take the fork lowers, send them off to get sandblasted and powder coated. We're also going to be doing the dust covers at the same time. And once we get those lowers back, we're going to go ahead and be assembling and adding the damper rod upgrade. If y'all have been following the channel for a hot little minute, you know that we did that with the Sportster. That has the damper rod upgrade from Tracker Die. It adds about 2 inches to your lift without needing to upgrade the fork tubes themselves. So it's a nice cost-effective way to get a little bit more front-end lift. The reason that we were holding off on the lowrider, as we talked about with the kickstand video, is that with the lowrider stock kickstand, it digs in too much and allows that front wheel to come up. It's just a little unsettling if you're on a hill, especially with a bike like this where it's gonna fall. It's gonna, next thing you know, your $15,000 bike is now on the ground, scratched and dented. Now, before we dive into this week's video, I want to give a huge shout out to Kuryakin. We picked up their floorboards, the Riot mini boards, and they are extremely comfortable. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like them because I'm used to just pegs. I ran the Flow Motorsport pegs for the longest time, ended up swapping the ones on my Dyna onto the Sportster, and we ran the stock pegs on the Slow Rider, so it was just your traditional smaller profile peg, and now we have a mini floorboard. And it was a little something to get used to on the first maybe 10 minutes, but then you immediately, you're just like, I can get used to it. There's so much room for your feet to hang out in that it's extremely comfortable. It's just, it was insane. It was a nice different feel. Then the only time that really took a little getting adjusted is when we were in the twisted. We took it out to Lime Creek, hit the twist a little bit, and where I'm used to placing my feet to get a little bit more body placement and help me get through that turn without having to really lean the bike over quite as much, that it was where my feet usually go. I still had a lot of floorboard to go, and so it took a little while to get to that. But thanks to Kuryakin, we also have some goodies. Here's a box, and there's another box somewhere. Where we came home and I saw these 2 boxes, I was just, what? I was expecting maybe 1 or 2 things, but they went ahead and sent us out several items, which we're gonna be taking a look at here momentarily. This is gonna be a nice little break from the bike build. That way you can get an idea of what's to come. And once the bike is back together, we're gonna be adding that to I'm doing a video on those items themselves in the future video to come. So as we stated, I wasn't expecting all this. We have this box, and we have this box from Kuryakin. So if you're not following them on Instagram, be sure and do so. Let them know you saw this video. Oh, we got a box within a box. All right, what do we got here? More of the splined adapters. This is gonna be the rear set. And then we have the Riot foot pegs. What is this? This is the Torque dry bag. There's the thumbnail. Woohoo, dude! Oh. Let's get this out. Oh. That's dope. That is cool. 35-liter dry duffel, 100% waterproof. That's kind of tough to open. Here's strap. Yo, what? This is cool. Is this? There's 1. There's 2. Oh man. And 3. Kuryakin, y'all are the MVP, son. Isaac and Zen just pulled up as I called Isaac Oscar. Oh, there we go. This is the, oh, this is what I was looking forward to. This is the Excursion. This is gonna be dope. With all this silica gel. This is a tank bag. What? This neoprene. It's got this little see-through portion here, this clear cover. That way you can have all your Starbucks gift cards all placed out so you know how much you have when you're rolling out. This is removable. And then these are magnets. Alright, what is this? I think this is my new photo bag. It's an option, of course. This is a tank bag, or passenger bag. I can't remember what they call this. Dude, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. That's what she said. This is dope. This is what I was looking forward to. This is the Vagabond. Tons of molly. That way you can attach a bunch of stuff on there. This is what I was looking forward to. I'm going to find some sort of compartment, some little dividers, so that way I can put all my lenses up top, and that way I can maybe have my camera here, offset, and then my lenses, that way it's go-to without me having to take off my bag. And then here, place something. Oh, this is a quick access to the, oh my gosh, what, bro? This is like Christmas. So many secret compartments. That's cool. Store a bunch of monsters, straps. Laptop. What could this be? Come across that one before? Maybe not. Oh, this is the backpack. That's kind of neat. The Excursion. Today's video is going to be about these passenger pegs. We already installed the front ones, might as well install these rears, and be on the lookout for more of these reviews. Well, we've already unboxed it. For these bags that we got, we have the tank bag, we have this cool new camera bag which is called the Vagabond, we have the Excursion, and we have the Torque from Kuryakin. Be sure and check them out. Hit them up on Instagram at Kuryakin. Here is the right foot peg from Kuryakin. It comes with an Allen bolt you see me fiddling with there. And you're going to thread it through and you're going to secure it to the spline adapter in the rear. We're going to go ahead and remove the stock foot peg. And here in a second you're going to see me drop the spring and the ball that's inside. And there it goes. Adios, little bearing ball. And all you're going to do is secure it. You're going to have the spring and then the ball that goes inside it. We ended up pulling out that clip. And all set up. Now we're just tightening down the Allen bolt that goes in there. It can be a little tricky with the space that is allowed. Just be patient. It's going to be the same application whether you do it for your passenger pegs or your main pegs. Now on the soft tails, it is going to be a different adapter, the spline adapter. You're going to need to get one that is for the front passenger. It has a small hole for the spring that goes in the foot peg. The rears are just a different adapter that do not have that hole. Installed, ready to go, ready to rock. Secure the Allen bolt with a little blue Loctite and you're good to go. And that's a wrap for this week's video. I want to give a huge shout out again to Kuryakin for sending us the foot pegs as well as these bags that we're going to be doing a review on. In the weeks to come following the FXR rebuild series, after all is said and done, we're going to be giving each one of these items individually its own highlight and reviewing the bag into what our applications will be. The ones I'm really excited for is going to be this Vagabond, simply because it has a top compartment, as we talked about, that we can separate our lenses. Currently, the loadout that I'm running is this Terrian backpack. I got it off Amazon. I believe it was about $80. And it has this cool back compartment that separates your lenses, that way you can figure out what you want. And it's relatively organized, but I've been putting it to some serious use in miles with this bag, where 9 times out of 10, whenever I'm on my bike, this bag is with me, and it's usually loaded out just so I'm prepared in case I want to capture some B-roll, some footage, or highlight some parts on my bike, especially the sunset photos. That's one of the things I really like, is taking photos of the low out and about in the city when the sunset hits. The only downside to this bag is, one, it's limited in space somewhat, especially because, yes, you can commit to 1 or 2 lenses. We have the 55 to 250 millimeter that takes really good shots. I'm really a fan of that, but sometimes I like that really open, wide shot, which is the 10 to 18 millimeter that we're using right now. And we also have our 24 and 50 millimeter. Now with the crop sensor camera, like the Canon 80D, your camera lenses are multiplied by 1.6, and that's the actual true size of the lens. So our 24 millimeter is more like a 35, or 50 is more like a 70 millimeter. And where it's nice, I do like those prime lenses. I really love them for video. It makes for awesome, super depth of field, just extremely shallow B-roll. It's just so much butter to it. But the only downside to it is that if I have a lot of stuff here on top, we have a gorilla pod that we like to keep. We have our camera strap and a couple other items with the top light that we'll bring. We'll usually put it on top, and now that it's losing its integrity, it's getting real broken in, that it's also difficult to try to stay organized, where sometimes I'll go to a shoot, I'll have to bury out a lot of stuff onto the shoot. I just think that it takes away from your professionalism, where yes, you are prepared, but now you're kind of just cluttering stuff everywhere. That's just me personally. And with the Vagabond, with the top compartment being able to be accessible, I can go ahead and just have all my lenses, my camera body somewhere up here. And then the bottom portion is so much storage, where you can compartmentalize, and you can add more dividers. You can add a bigger case, let's say a Pelican case, and that way your bottom will be all your camera mounts, and should you need to pull it out, you have it all in one space and it looks cleaner. And then as for the torque bag, this is waterproof 100%, which is really neat. We have some water droplets. We were taking some photographs for Kuryakin. Should they want to use those photos, they're more than welcome to as part of the KR Digital Media. So if you're a business, quick plug-in, be sure and check out our photography Instagram that we recently created a new media business. Currently it's only photography and videography. Be sure and check it out. If you are interested in some product photography, message me at KR Digital Media and we'll get some squared away. I can provide you with some samples that I've done for a couple other companies. And then here, this is what I was really excited for as well. It's going to be the Co-Pilot tank bag. Because with the Sportster, we don't have bags. It's nice to ride every so often, but I'm not a fan of bringing a backpack with the Sporty quite as much, because I have nowhere to put it. And with the tank bag, it has those magnets on the side straps, and you can even add some more straps to where if you want to wrap underneath the tank, and that way it secures it 100%. It has that ability to, but it's just a little room for storage. So if we get a drink or a small snack, we can go ahead and place it within the tank bag, and it has this clear little area here that you can include your wallet or maybe a map or something. It's really neat because even with the iPhone 11, it's water resistant for so long, but if you even get them wet for a longer period of time, they tend to act kind of funky. And if you're using GPS on your bike and there's rain starting to come down during your ride, you can place your phone in here and it'll still allow you to see your turn-by-turn directions on your Google Maps, and that's just another little positive add-on that you can get from that bag. And then as for the backpack, the Excursion, backpacks are always interesting for me just because the way that they're different loadouts. One of the things that really stood out, which I'm not sure if it's a like or a dislike, is this top compartment, this flap. It's secured by some sort of, I'm gonna call it a C-hook, where it's not a clip. It secures to one of the MOLLE straps that I'm not sure how that'll play out when you're riding, if it'll come loose, but there is the possibility of it unhooking, and then you got that flap. Will it happen? Probably not, but there's just still that small percentage possibility. So again, be sure and follow Kuryakin on Instagram if you're not. Check them out, see what they got, and let them know I sent you. Now before we end the video, we're just going to address one thing that I know we talked about, showing the forks as well as the Speedo, the dual gauge that we're moving. We ended up moving it from our dash. We currently have open holes on our dash. We will be getting the pucks from Hardcase Performance, but these did not get mounted on our bike. Unfortunately, we have the LA Choppers T-bar mount. We had this on the Sportster when we had bars and risers. The cool thing about this is that you have this bottom half that removes. There's two Allen bolts that go here that allow the bottom portion of this clamp to come off, and then you'll seat it between your T-bars or your risers, and then you re-add this bottom portion back on, and it secures it so that way you can add your gauge or dual gauges on top of that. But unfortunately, we thought these Lucky Days bars were 1 inch in diameter at the main portion of the bars, but they're not. That they taper down to 1 inch for your throttle controls, your handles, but the actual diameter of the bar themselves is not 1 inch. I tried, I wanted it to work so we could finish it, but it did not. We already ordered a 1 1/4 diameter T-bar clamp. This will just stay in our parts counter should we ever need it, or if a buddy is in need of one, wants to pick it up on the cheap. And that will be the next video. So we already have preparation. Here is the Speedo cables that we've already unplugged because they're right there, that we will finish that whenever we get to it. So the next video after this one for the For the FXLR rebuild series is going to be removing the forks, draining them. I know we talked about Central, Rolando and Warren hooking us up, helping us out with that. Again, thank you. And then we will be dumping them, show you some of the internals, the exploited view of how we have it, as well as showing what we got in regards to the Speedo relocation. We only got so far, so you will see a little bit of disappointment in my eyes. And that's gonna be the end of that video. And that will catch us up to where we are currently, where we've already taken everything to paint. We have everything over there. We took it to Enigma Powder Coatings in Leander, Texas, where they're powder coating the fork floors and the dust caps. All the other parts are getting sandblasted for something a little different. I am pumped. And with that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, and while you're there, bump on over and hit that bell to be notified of any future videos when they drop, as soon as they drop. And don't forget to check out our Teespring store. We officially have a storefront now where we'll be dropping some FXLR Ron Burgundy merch for the FXLR rebuild series. Be sure and check it out. All the links for everything in the drop down section below, as well as the links that you can find on Amazon that we're using for this build. We are part of the Amazon affiliates program, and every time you click on a link and purchase something through that, it helps out the channel. If you don't feel like doing that, be sure and check out our Patreon, where our Road Warrior tier allows you all behind the scenes footage and photos as everything is occurring. Be sure and check it out for just $5 a month, with the equivalent of a coffee. You can help your boy fulfill his dreams into riding full time and bringing you content such as this. I appreciate it. And again, safe riding. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.